Hello, my name is Bernhard Schimpelsberger, and this is another Konnakol tutorial. And today I'd like to talk to you about triplets. And triplets is the subdivision of 3. And for some reason, I feel that triplets are still sort of lacking behind a little bit in our Western education. I know it from myself when I was younger, when I started to play drums and when I started to solo on drums. I was always terrified when there was like a song in triplets and I had to improvise because I just didn't know what to play. And it's not that triplets are more difficult, it's the same what I say. I don't say that quintuplets are more difficult than 16 notes or 7 tuplets. It's just the amount of time that we spend working on them. And if we spent more time on it, we'd be equally comfortable in it. So I thought I'll make a little lesson for you on the fundamentals of triplets in Konnakol. And just show you how you can create new rhythms from it. We are in a 4/4 time cycle, and our basic phrase is ta ki te, because we have 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1. That is the basic tempo. So instead of saying 1 2 3, obviously we're gonna say the phrase of 3 from Konnakol, which is ta ki te. So it is ta ki te ta ki te ta ki te ta ki te ta. This is our basic groove. This is sort of the groove that we're always gonna return to after we do a few variations. Okay. Now, if you don't know this, I'm clapping a time cycle of 4 at the moment, which I'll be extending afterwards to 8. And the clapping pattern is clap, small finger, ring finger, middle finger. That is sort of the way how this space of 4 beats is going to be clapped. So clap, small finger, ring finger, middle finger. Clap, small finger, ring finger, middle finger. Now place it in the triplets on top of it. Sounds like this. Takki te 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 ta. This group of 3 is quite small. Now if I want to make variations, what I will do is I will take 2 groups of 3 and put them together. So we got 6 beats. And with 6 beats, I can start to subdivide them differently in a very pleasant way, which is not too difficult, which doesn't have too much tension, but which just sort of goes off track from the 3s a little bit. And the way I'm going to put the 6 is by 2 other basic phrases. I use the phrase of 2, which is takka, and I use the phrase of 4, which is takka dimi. I put them together, so together they are takka takka dimi. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep the first half of the bar the same, so it is going to be 3 plus 3 and then 2 plus 4. It sounds like this. Takki te takki te takka takka dimi takki te takki te takka takka dimi takki te takki te takka takka dimi ta. Keep in mind that the musical poetry and melody comes by accenting the ta, the first ta of every grouping. So if I say all of the syllables the same, they sound very flat. But if I start to takki te takki te takka takka dimi takki te takki te takka takka dimi ta, you start getting a melody of accents. And this is again later what you want to translate onto other instruments, for example, a drum kit, or even for composition that you can use very nicely. Okay, so we've done this. Now what I could do, I can also take the first 2 3s and also replace them by a group of 2 plus 4. So what I end up with is 2 4 2 4. It sounds like this. Takka takka dimi 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 ta. The next thing I could possibly do is just shift the 2s and the 4s around. And I can do this by saying I start with a 4 and then comes the 2, another 4 and another 2. It sounds like this. taka, dimi, taka, 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 ta. Right? We've got 3 variations here, actually 4, and let me just do them in a row so you can see the progression. Okay? Takite, 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 taka, taka, dimi, 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 takite, takite, taka, dimi, taka, takite, takite, taka, dimi, taka, takite, takite, taka, dimi, taka, 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 dimi, taka, taka, dimi, taka, taka, dimi, taka, taka, dimi, taka, ta. The next variation leads us to putting the 2 and placing it at the end, which means 4, 4, 2, 2. And it sounds like this. Taka, dimi, taka, dimi, taka, 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 dimi, taka, dimi, taka, 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 dimi, taka, dimi, taka, taka, ta. Nice little tension there in the end. And now we almost have a polyrhythm, because if I take the groupings of 4 there and I spread them equally over the whole bar, I get 3 accents. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the 2 plus 2 and just change that into a 4. 2 plus 2 is 4. So what I'm going to end up with is 4, 4, 4. Okay? And it sounds like this. Taka, dimi, 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 ta. And in combination with the groove, takite, 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 taka, dimi, taka, dimi, taka, dimi, takite, 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 taka, dimi, taka, dimi, taka, dimi, takite, 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 taka, dimi, taka, dimi, taka, dimi, ta. And actually, this is the famous 3/4, because if I only took the accents of that pattern, it would be like, so taka, dimi, taka, dimi, taka, dimi, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, taka, dimi, taka, dimi, taka, dimi, ta. And as a final variation, I'd like to show you something which is really used everywhere and all the time. And it's the combination of 7 and 5. And that's in a way very African. And you will find that 7 and 5 and 5 and 7 all the time. Because it's about the asymmetry. If you take the whole bar, we've got 12 microbeats, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. If you take those 12 and you divide them into half, you've got 6 plus 6. And playing 6 plus 6, we've done that. It's cool, but it doesn't have so much tension. But if I start going a little bit off track, and instead of the first 6, I'm going to take a 7, and get the accent slightly over the half of the bar, and it leaves me with another 5. Okay? And the 7 is a combination of 4 plus 3. So taka, dimi, takite, taka, dimi, takite. And the 5 is just a regular 5 of taka, takite. Okay? Taka, takite. So putting those 2 together sounds like this. Taka, dimi, takite, taka, takite, 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 takite. Always return back to the basic groove. Kite, takite, 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 taka, dimi, takite, taka, takite, 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 taka, dimi, takite, taka, takite, ta. And and then you can swap them around. Taka, takite, taka, dimi, takite, ta. What have I done? I've taken the 5 first and the 7 second. So taka, takite, taka, dimi, takite, ta. You've seen now, while I was doing that, I went to an 8-beat cycle where I kept the first 4 the same, and then 5, 6, 7, 8. This is how you clap it. This is something you can also find in a couple of other lessons, and especially the one where I talk about rests and gaps, which you can click here. You can find a more detailed explanation about the clapping pattern. So 5 plus 7, how does it sound? I'm going to do 1 bar of basic groove, and in the second half I'm going to go into the 5 plus 7. Takite, 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 taka, takite, taka, dimi, takite, 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 taka, takite, taka, dimi, takite, 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 taka, takite, taka, dimi, takite, ta. If we wanted to move on now, we could start extending the time cycle into 2 bars and then make combinations of 7 plus 7 and 5 plus 5 and multiple combinations which sound very funky, but at the same time also very cross-rhythmic. But that is really, again, the task for another session maybe. If you have any questions, you can write to me, comment on the videos or write to me. I'm happy to answer any questions. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, stay tuned what's coming next. If you want to go more into detail, you can hook me up for Skype lessons, one-on-one lessons, or workshops in schools and universities and groups and so on. So, until then, happy practicing. Bye.
Stop.